hello, and welcome back to Purposeful Woman podcast. And today we have Christine M. Roberts, MBA success coach, speaker. After Christine is success coach who partners with ambitious women to do less and be more and create your best life using her signature GROW method. With neuroscience based practices, Christine guides a woman to design the most purposeful and fulfilling life. Her clients say that improve their perspective, productivity, and joy after using Christine's strategies. Awesome. Well, welcome, Christine.
Hello, thank you. It's great to be here.
Great to have you on. And as always, I would love to start from you to share. How did you started to do what you're doing now? What inspired you?
Yeah, so I have been a student of human behavior and, just I love people and understanding people. I grew up as a kid, I grew up in a pretty dysfunctional environment, and I always would think to myself, why do people do what they do? Because a lot of crazy things happen growing up. And so, yeah, then I got into sales and personal development and just have had a curiosity about psychology and, quantum physics and neuroscience. And that's just been kind of the platform of people, understanding people. And I worked in leadership and culture. So I worked with John Maxwell, who's written a lot of books on leadership. I was a leadership consultant with him. And then most recently, I worked in the advisory group with Disney. And in Disney, we would work with companies to take the Disney approach to employee engagement, culture, leadership, and help companies apply it in their business. And, with this pandemic, our group was all in person. And so a lot of our organization, there was layoffs. And so now I'm recreating myself in my business. And actually, this is something I've wanted to do for a long time. I got certified as a life coach years ago because people would come to me all the time asking me for advice and things. And so here I am. Now I started my own company doing online digital marketing and have created coaching courses, and I've done speaking and one-on-one coaching for years. So that's the Reader's Digest version.
Very short Reader's Digest version. I love it.
Yeah, there's way more to the story, but that gives you a little flavor.
All right, all right. Well, we would love to hear some flavors too, absolutely, if you want to share. And I would love to ask what, us working with the leadership, like leaders like Max, right?
John Maxwell and
Maxwell, yeah.
Disney.
Max Johnwell. I'm like, no, that's not correct.
I knew what you meant.
Yes. So what if you're taking everything from what you know right now right to what you were like 5 years before, what would you tell yourself? What would you tell yourself to do different?
Yeah. I would, and this is some advice for everybody, is to give yourself grace.
Mm.
You know, don't compare yourself to anyone else, only compare yourself to yourself, and be a constant student, whatever it is that you want to grow in. And so, for me, all the things that I'm doing are things that I'm interested in, and just be intentional about growing and being better today than you were yesterday.
That is always the best measurement you can do to yourself, with yourself. Okay. What would you say is like number one mistake that people make when they are starting the marketing?
Oh gosh, I know for me, some of the biggest mistakes is just having unrealistic expectations.
Because it's just I keep hearing that all the time. I start my ads and my flying client's gonna flow, and I'm like, oh, you guys, I don't want to
Yeah.
disappoint you, but marketing, it's not like this.
Oh my gosh, that is so true. It's just realizing that, any listeners that are out there, I'm sure that if you're listening to this, you're a person that wants to be better. I mean, otherwise you wouldn't be here. And many times if you are wired that way, it's like you want to accomplish so much, and you think it's going to be easier than it is, and it's usually a lot more. And not to say that in a discouraging way, but it's realizing to enjoy the journey and enjoy the process and seek information. Find people that are doing what you want to do and really learn from other people who have been there and done that. There's an expression, it says, smart people learn from their own mistakes and experiences. Really smart people learn from other people's mistakes and experiences. And I know anyone listening out there is really smart. So that's some advice. That's some of the things for me. It's been just things, there's trade-offs too. Like whatever you're doing, there's always trade-offs. Like you can fantasize becoming an entrepreneur that, oh, I'm gonna have all my time. And it is true. And if you're passionate, it's awesome. But the trade-off is like there's so much you have to learn and there's so many things that you have to do, and give yourself grace. Like I said earlier, I have to give myself grace and just know that it's about that progress, making progress every day and not perfection. And if you can kind of take those philosophies into account and enjoy the journey, enjoy the process, then it makes life more enjoyable.
I love it. And, I love it that you say there's a trade-off. And also what came to my mind is that when, in leadership, because I do coach leadership too, but the thing is that we use usually the language that we will use. And I think it's very important to understand, like when you're going for something, like in the morning, you set an intention, the day will go like this. You want to tell yourself, okay, the prices I'm willing to pay for it to go this way. And the same in entrepreneurship. Okay, I want to be entrepreneurship. What prices are you willing to pay? Not sleepless night, maybe, I don't know, not eating on time, feeling frustrated, making mistakes, being messy. And this is just so important. There is always also trade-off on what you do, like you said. That just brought me to that thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, then my next question for you is, it's not even a question, it's more of a filling the blank. And it sounds like this. If you really knew me, you will know that I am like.
If you really knew me, you would know that I am so resilient. When I get into something, it's about focusing on how it can happen. And so it's like in my life, I've got an MBA without any undergrad. My parents divorced when I was a kid, and I only focused on how it could happen. Our family traveled America in an RV for a year, a couple years ago, and it was like a crazy big thing. But I only focused on how it could happen. And I bought a home when I was like 22 and I had no money, bad credit, wasn't making a lot, but I only focused on how it could happen. And it's amazing when you do that, opportunities show up. So anybody out there listening, whatever it is that's on your heart, whatever that promise is, it is possible if you focus on how it can happen and don't even allow the other things into your mind. When you do that, amazing things will show up.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And tell us more about, I know you have a gift, so tell us more about what it is and what our audience can learn from it.
Yes, absolutely. So if you go to my website, we have a mindset quiz. It's a free quiz, and it's all about raising awareness to thought, right? So like I just mentioned about our thinking, if you think what you focus on grows, I think we all know that. And if you focus on how something can happen, then things show up. And the mindset quiz is a vehicle to really take a look at where you are right now. It can change, but it's a great way as a starting point to get information about where you are today and then what it takes to change or improve your circumstances or whatever it is you want to accomplish in your life.
Oh, thank you so much. And we will link everything in the show notes as always, so you can always go and grab all links. And also, Christine, I would love for you to share where our audience can get in touch with you if you want to get more of you.
Absolutely. I'm everywhere, just like everybody else. It's my website's Christine M for Marie Roberts, ChristineMRoberts.com. And then social media, just look up Christine M. Roberts and you'll find me out there.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your wisdom. And thank you everybody for listening or watching this episode. And as always, you can find all links in the show notes on the episode page. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Thanks, Viktoriia. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Christine. And if you love this episode and you would love to see more of that, click the subscribe button to Purposeful Woman Podcast. And don't forget to text us to stay in tune with the Purposeful community for awesome tricks by texting to number +1 401 399 64105, and we will link descriptions in the episode to all of that we mentioned today. Bye, turn your one day to day one with a purposeful day.